Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and, made a video not too terribly long ago about the new Little Mermaid remake, the one that everyone is calling, Black Little Mermaid. They're up in arms in one direction or the other. Oh, she can't be black, she was white. The other people, oh, you're racist, this is great for the black community. Basically, both sides are idiots. It's a movie that shouldn't be made skin color of a fictional mermaid, notwithstanding, because Disney needs to stop live-action remakes. They're soulless cash grabs. But that being said, an interesting article did pop up that I wanted to go over with you guys that it says Disney doesn't want your kids to see the live-action Little Mermaid. Now, I don't know what this means. Disney has always been about families and children's movies, and this is an interesting article. Clearly, it's just a headline. I don't know what it means, so we're going to go through it together. But this seems antithetical to Disney's business model, so let's see. Unlike the animated film from 1989, the live-action remake of The Little Mermaid will come with a PG rating. Oh no! Look, PG doesn't mean anything nowadays anyway. Stuff that's been PG for the last 15 years would have been G the last 50 years. Well, if the ratings board was around back then. I don't think they were. But the point is, this is an absolute joke. There are Dracula movies that are rated G, and then some that came out a couple years later that are rated R because of like 10 more seconds of blood. The Little Mermaid being rated PG means parental guidance. It's still a kid's movie. So if that's their only basis for Disney doesn't want your kids to see the live-action Little Mermaid, that's insane. Let's go through it and see what they actually have to say. Unlike its G-rated counterpart, Film Ratings has revealed that Disney's live-action remake of The Little Mermaid has received a PG rating for action, peril, and some scary images. So you mean stuff that should still be G, and we've just become a weak society that throws our hands up in fear over any image of violence in children's movies and TV shows, even if it's cartoon violence or, yeah, wow. The change comes as Ariel's adventures move from vibrantly crafted animations to heavy CGI-reliant live-action film with Halle Bailey starring as the mermaid with dreams of becoming part of the human world. Oh no, it's done with computers instead of hand-drawn. Let's make it PG! Like, no, the ratings board is stupid. They've always been stupid. And this is just another example of that. I don't care if you're on the side of The Little Mermaid can't be black, or you're on the side of anyone that doesn't like this movie's a racist. Both these sides need to agree that the ratings board, the people that decide what the ratings of films are beyond ridiculous, and it needs to be either abolished outright or completely overhauled. For those who are fans of Disney's live-action recreations, there are no fans of those. There's only idiots. The rating won't come as a surprise, as the bulk of its other features have also been given a PG rating. 2022 brought the terrifying remake that we quite frankly didn't need in the Tom Hanks-led Pinocchio, which landed a PG rating against the 1940 original as G, while the 90s classic The Lion King was also given a G, only to receive PG when it took live-action form in 2019. It wasn't live-action, it was all CGI. Very impressive CGI despite how dogshit the movie was, but CGI nonetheless. With these examples, and others including Beauty and the Beast, The Jungle Book, also up the ante. Up the ante. You're not upping the ante by changing something from G to PG. Parents aren't going to care, especially with Disney's name slapped on it. We all know The Little Mermaid. You're going to let your 4-year-old watch it without your parent being in the room. I'm sorry. Anyway, up the ante by one rating with their jump from the pages of animation to the lively world of live action. The Little Mermaid's rating doesn't come as a surprise. After all, as long as it's below PG-13, most parents will still allow their children to see Disney's latest swing at revamping a classic story for new audiences. Even PG-13, if Disney released something PG-13, but it had Disney's name tied to it, most parents are going to let them watch it anyway. The idea that parents are freaking out over the rating system, guys, it's 2022, not 1998. This is not really something parents care about anymore. They're more worried about turning their freaking little boys into little girls the moment they decide they want to play with dolls. Exaggeration, but funny nonetheless. And there's the fact that at the heart of every Disney fairy tale, there's a scare factor that even a G rating can't hide. Guys, it's okay to scare your kids. We need to be more like the Germans. I never thought that I would say we need to be more like the Germans, because frankly that comes with some pretty heavy connotations. But they have, or maybe it's the Russians. Either way, all of that part of Europe where their like bedtime stories were to scare children into being like, don't act up or evil Santa's gonna eat you, or don't be a bad kid because Baba Yaga's stork house is gonna abduct you. Like, scaring children is a good thing. It builds character. We are such pussies now. For Pinocchio, the wooden boy who comes to life is not only kidnapped, but witnesses children being turned into donkeys. If your children are frightened by that and they think it's real, you have failed as a parent. Yeah, cautionary tales have important symbolism. But if you're such a bad parent you can't let your kid know, hey, this is a movie, this is fake, then it's on you. I have met parents who their children watch like straight up scary horror movies, and I've thought, like, dude, that movie's rated R. Like, hey, it's Friday the 13th. And they're like, yeah, she knows it's not real. She knows it's a movie. And I'll talk to the kid, and she'll be like, yeah, it's a movie. And it's coming out of a 4-year-old with this little snarky attitude. Okay, fair enough. I guess she knows better. Maybe you should parent your kid better to not have that attitude with an adult. But in general, if the kid's smart enough to know it's a movie and it's not real, then oh well. Kids being turned into donkeys isn't real. And that frightening imagery is frightening for a reason. It's meant to leave an impact. It's meant for your kid to take note of the lesson. Both equally traumatizing for kiddos to watch play out on the big screen. In The Little Mermaid, we watch a soul-sucking sea witch attempt to usurp the throne after taking the voice from the king's daughter Ariel. This article needs to burn. What do you want your children to watch? Should all live-action films be like The Wiggles for Disney or for children? Or is even The Wiggles too scary because they've got that bad guy that multiplies, and frankly his face is very plastic. It's actually, it's kind of creepy. But kids can still watch it. In case you need a refresher, The Little Mermaid tells the story of Ariel, a mermaid and daughter of King Triton, who dreams of a world outside the one she knows under the sea. Upon striking up a deal with Ursula, aka the Sea Witch, the princess agrees to trade in her voice for a shot at gaining the affections of a land-walking man named Prince Eric. The stakes are high, and if she fails, which Ursula plans to make sure of, the Sea Witch will own Ariel's soul forever. It just sounds like a fairy tale. Disney has already pussified the fairy tales from the original Brothers Grimm versions and others of that ilk. I mean, Little Mermaid wasn't Brothers Grimm, but you get my point. We don't need to pussify them anymore. They're fine. We don't even need these live-action remakes. The originals are inherently better, but since announcing their plans to turn The Little Mermaid into a live-action feature, Disney has faced pushback for their casting of Halle Bailey, as some are unhappy with the color of the actress's skin. No, people are unhappy that Little Mermaid movies, or live-action movies in general, keep being made, and they have an issue with the fact that by casting a woman of color, it looks like Disney is just forcing agenda more and more. Now we don't know if she made it on her own with her own talent. But that's a discussion for a completely different video. A video I've done. You should go watch it because it's very interesting. So yeah, check out my other Little Mermaid video. It's 2023 and folks are angry that a fictional mermaid character is being played by a black woman as opposed to the animated white Ariel of yesteryear. Nevertheless, the film is chugging along with Halle Bailey absolutely dominating her performance in teasers and trailers for the upcoming production. While Disney's takeover of The Little Mermaid, which has spawned several animated films, a Broadway production, and now this live-action feature, may have some PG material, we are sure that families will still head to the theaters in droves to see how Disney brings it to life. Are we, though? Because the last few Disney family films have done awful numbers. Lightyear did awful numbers. Strange World, awful numbers. Disney is doing bad, and it's because people are tired of them. They're tired of live-action remakes. They're tired of forced politics in their movies. We're done. We're tired of price hikes at Disney parks. People are just turning on Disney, as they should. I guarantee you that Super Mario Bros. Is going to dominate this movie at the box office. I don't know if they release around the same time. I'm just saying that when it comes to which one makes more money this coming year, I'm sure Super Mario Bros. Is going to make more money. Besides, even with its more adult rating, no, it is not a more adult rating. I would maybe agree that PG-13 is a more adult rating, but there's only one adult rating, and that's R. Or X if you count that, but anyway. It's nothing like the original Danish book the story is based on. Exactly. Yeah, this was a joke of an article. It's called Disney Doesn't Want Your Kids to See the Live-Action Little Mermaid, and I knew that wasn't going to be the case. I knew it was a clickbait article, but I still wanted to know how they would justify a title like that, because sometimes clickbaity titles can be justified in a roundabout way that's kind of skeevy, but you at least get it. This one can't even be justified, and it seems to spend most of its time trying to really get you on the hook, like, oh, get this clickbaity title, tell them about the rating system, which no one cares about, then dive into the forced racism and get the controversy stirring. No one cares. No one cares. We're done. Disney is done. It's over. Stop making live-action remakes. Make something original. Stop putting politics in it. Maybe you'll win us back. But this isn't how you do it. And clickbaity headlines are also not going to be how you do it. I can't stress it enough. Look, are you going to go see this movie? If you are, let me know in the comments below. I'm actually curious to see how many people are going to go see this. If you are, tell me why. Or are you not going to go see it? If so, tell me why. If your reason is because she's black, okay, fair enough. I hope it's because, not because you're racist, like, I don't want to see a black girl. I hope your reasoning is, no, I don't want to see Disney forcing woke agendas in there. There's no proof it went to the best person who got the job. It seems like, at least there's a conversation to be had. Again, check out my previous Little Mermaid video. But if you want to go see it, or you don't want to go see it, 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to have nothing to do with her skin color. It's probably going to be, we're tired of live-action remakes, they're soulless cash grabs, and we have the originals, which are inherently better because they're animated, which has a lot more leeway than live-action. And that is the perfect answer, but that doesn't need to be your answer, so I want to hear it in the comments below, or on Twitter, where you can follow me at BoltTheWord. And please like and subscribe. I will be trying to bring out more better content over the course of 2023, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. It would mean the world to me. But until then, this has been Words of Paradise.